did throughout history, protecting the area, controlling the pass, controlling the trade routes.
The 6th Legion had a nickname that reflected their strength and ruthlessness in battle. They were called the Ironsides.
The Ironsides have a particularly nasty reputation amongst the Roman legions. They were known for their brutality. They would have used all the known means that we know the Romans did against subduing populations, crucifying them, flaying them alive. They crucified people all the way from the coast to Jerusalem.
So where better to place a battle between the forces of good and evil than at the headquarters of an army whose reputation caused fear across the empire?
Anybody at that time would have known that the legionnaires were camped here. These were the forces of darkness at Megiddo.
John realized that any major battle fought for control of this region or control of the world is going to have to involve Megiddo. It had been so crucial in previous battles. From his point of view, there was no reason to suppose that it wouldn't be crucial in upcoming battles.
If John's aim in Revelation is not to predict the end of the world, but to attack the Roman Empire using contemporary events and ancient apocalyptic tradition, then perhaps we can look differently at the most famous prophecy of all. 666, the number of the beast. If the beast means the emperor, then what did John mean by its number? The ancient world loved puzzles. A common trick was to use numbers to disguise a name. In the Greek and Hebrew alphabets, every letter had a corresponding number. So if you added up the total value of the letters in your name, you had a numerical code.
So here's a good example. Anna, written in Greek capitals, which just happen to be the same as ours. Now the number for A, alpha, is 1, and the number for N is 50. So do a bit of simple arithmetic, and you end up with 102 as the number of the name of Anna.
Ancient graffiti has survived that suggests this game had a mainly frivolous purpose.
There's quite a nice one that was found in Pompeii, written on a wall somewhere. I love the girl whose number is 545. Now, she knew that her number was 545. Others perhaps had to do a bit of working out to find out precisely who she was.
But for John, this game is deadly serious. He gives us the puzzle in reverse. He gives the number and invites his audience to work back to the name. He writes in Revelation, "Let him who is understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666. For historians, the answer seems obvious.
Now, the best explanation is that John is thinking of the Emperor Nero. And if you write the name Nero Caesar in the Hebrew alphabet, then you end up with this: 50, 200, 6, 50, 100, 60, and 200, which then, with a little bit of swift arithmetic, gives us the number of Nero Caesar.
666 seems to be an ancient code linking the Emperor Nero with the number of the beast. But a collection of recently deciphered documents has cast doubt on whether 666 is really the number of the beast after all. "100 years ago, a group of British archaeologists digging in the ancient Egyptian city of Oxyrhynchus made a fascinating discovery. Not buried treasure, but waste paper in a rubbish tip 30 feet deep. This vast hoard was brought back to Oxford, where ever since it has been cleaned, catalogued and translated. Then in 1999, a papyrus fragment was identified as a 3rd century extract from the Book of Revelation. Closer examination revealed that the world's most infamous number was not what it seemed.
You've got a tiny fragment here. It was written by somebody who was a good scribe. He wrote clearly and he wrote helpfully for people, but he also wrote quite quickly. And it has part of the line which would have read, "Let the person with understanding calculate the number." It would have been somewhere there. And then 3 letters, each standing for a numeral. The letters are Chai, which stands for 600, Iota, like our I, which stands for 10, and stigma at the end is a 6. So the number here, clear as daylight, 616.
If the number of the beast is 616, then it doesn't add up to Nero. It suggests that John's real target was someone else altogether. By applying the same rules of the number game, a new hate figure emerges. Another Roman emperor.
Caligula was emperor from 37 to 41, and Caligula, in fact, was a nickname. His proper name was Gaius. Now, if we take Gaius Caesar and change it into Greek letters, we get Gaius Caesar. Giving a numerical value to each of the letters of that name, we end up with 284 for Gaius, and for Caesar, 332. So that gives us 616.
The reason why John would see Caligula as the beast lies in a controversial decision made by the emperor during his short reign. Caligula ordered a statue of himself to be put in the temple at Jerusalem. This was a blasphemy to the Jews because the temple was dedicated to the worship of their one true God.
It's very possible that it will continue to be unacceptable to early Christians with this strong folk memory of a defining act by a Roman emperor which stood up for everything which they found unacceptable in the imperial power.
So if Revelation isn't a prophecy about the end of the world but an attack on Rome, where does that leave John's visions? Few scholars deny that John had visions. Indeed, visionary experiences are so common in other faiths that in John's case, they could have served to inspire his flock.
John's vision was within a Christian tradition, but it does seem to have many features that parallel that of shamans in other cultures. A shaman is somebody who can go into a controlled trance, who is able to travel to other worlds, other realms, in order to receive a message, who then returns in order to give that message or to heal somebody. And John, like shamans in many cultures, has a message which he communicates to others. It isn't something for him alone, it's a message for the community. He's there to heal his community, to support them, to encourage them, sometimes to correct them.
All the available evidence from recent archaeology and history suggests that the Book of Revelation is not a series of prophecies predicting the end of the world. Instead, it is an urgent message for a first-century audience in danger of being seduced by the Roman imperial cult.
Rather than seeing John on this island as gazing into the dim and distant future, rather like a clairvoyant gazing into a crystal ball, perhaps we should see John rather as sitting on this island gazing across the sea, The 7 churches are over there. He's got an urgent message for them, and he wants them to hear it.